we have with us today Mark Rinaldi from the Oracle Product Management team, and I'm going to let Mark introduce himself.
Yeah, so I'm the Director of Product Management for the focusing on the Hyperion product base, right, which is now Oracle EPM planning. So I've been doing this in the PM role for about 6 years, but I've been working with the products since 1996. So got a few years of experience on me.
Great to have you, Mark.
Thanks for being here. I'm happy to be here.
So, what brings you to Kscope every year, besides the fact that
I work for Oracle, and I yeah, well, there may be a few things. It's nice to share what we're doing with our content, giving the product strategy and roadmap. It times in nicely with our fiscal year as well, so it just gives people the opportunity to hear what we're going to do and focus on for the next year. I think other reasons come, sort of three categories I see it as. One is getting that product messaging out that we're trying to deliver, and I think that's high value for the customers. But then there's also the content of the sessions as well, and it's one thing to hear the Oracle folks like myself give what we think is the way to do it, but it's nice to hear from the customers themselves and partners that have implemented and see how it's really translated. And then the third category to me is this is a very small, tight-knit community, and just running into the same people that you see year over year, people that we used to work with or been on projects together. I've seen several old customers that are here, so there's a little bit of an old home week to it.
It's like a reunion every year,
It's a little bit
right?
of a reunion, yes.
Yeah, totally agree. So you guys announced pricing changes for the EPPCS and planning platforms, actually the whole EPM platform, standard and enterprise. So what precipitated that change? What caused you guys to change your pricing strategy for the cloud?
Well, it was really customer driven, because we'd have a lot of folks that asked us to deliver things, and just the commercial aspects of how we were delivering these as point solutions was just, it really wasn't the best model. And now as an EPM cloud, one solution, you get everything that you need right in that. And we equated a little bit to, if you think about how Microsoft did it with the Office tools, you used to buy a spreadsheet, a word processing, a presentation, and then they just bundled it, right? So this is really the EPM bundle, right? It's all one platform. We feel we have great strength, both depth and breadth of EPM solutions, so offering it as one bundle just seemed to make sense for us.
And it's going to drive more value for customers, right?
There's exceptional value, because again, now you have that. You can start off with planning if you're EPM Enterprise Cloud, and then 6 months later decide you want to now do close, and maybe a year later figure to do tax, and you already have it. It's there. It's part of it's no extra pricing. It's included in it, so it's just one way to let you start using the one that starts off with your phased implementation, but to get to that next phase, you don't have to worry about going to another vendor and going through the whole RFP process. You're going to own it all, right, across the entire suite, whether it's financial close, narrative reporting, tax, planning, account reconciliation. It's all included in there.
So what has you most excited about what's coming from an innovation perspective in the EPM cloud?
So aside from our pricing, which is really good value, as we just talked about, the whole concept, and it's not just buzzwords these days, but the machine learning capabilities, to take the predictive planning functionality, the artificial intelligence, and really expand on that to just see what the metrics will tell you your budget and forecast should be, and how you compare that to what you're doing. So there's a lot of excitement around that. Groovy is another big one. It's just new ways of doing things and take away some of a lot of us have become experts at writing rules and things of that sort, but there have been some limitations around that Groovy helps to solve. And the adoption from when we announced Groovy and started using it has been phenomenal. And there's a lot of opportunity there for Groovy to help solve a lot of business cases that would have been challenging otherwise.
So 11.2 is going to be coming out.
It is. Safe Harbor.
Safe Harbor. But I saw some slides that said around September timeframe, Safe Harbor.
That's right. I'm in development. I don't get paid unless I say Safe Harbor.
So can you share with me some of the innovations that are becoming from the cloud to on-premise?
Yeah, it's really going to be customer driven at that point. The initial release of 11.2 is really meant to be a technology update. 11.124 was released 4 years ago, I think it was. And so, now's about the time where people start looking to renew their on-premises solution, because their IT departments are probably hammering them for out-of-date third-party technology support. So it's an update of that. So that's the initial release. And then there are some specific things that we know targeted-wise that will probably push back, like valid intersections on the planning side. It's a popular one. Smart push, things like that. But really, it's going to be customer driven, right? We want the customers to tell us what they need to see back in the on-premises model. I mean, we're always going to be a cloud-first company at this point, so things are going to innovate first on the cloud. But because we're effectively using the same code line, it's easier for us to port it back than maybe others might have, challenges with that. So we'll listen to the customers on that, let them drive where we're going.
Okay. Cell level security.
Cell level security, that is a personal favorite of mine. Did you do any research?
It's mine too.
Yes. So I have posted on Customer Connect on this, in fact, and yeah, I mean, this is a problem that's been out there since the 1.0 days of planning, right?
He's making eye contact with me while he's saying this. This is good. All right.
So well aware of it, right? It's just a unique model. So we have a proof of concept in place.
Okay.
It is on our roadmap. I was just speaking with a colleague of mine to make sure that it gets back on the roadmap. With the 11.2, we shifted some priorities around and the new pricing model and things like that. So it is on our roadmap, safe harbor. I'll give you a little tease of it. It might involve something to do with the valid intersections framework. It'll probably be exception basis, because to rewrite it, it's not just, we're not exposing SBase in the cloud, as you well know, right?
But the security is not in the SBase. It's not filters in the. It's
no,
all in the relational.
It's all in the
right?
relational, but it's built on an application-wide basis, right? So when you talk about cell level, or you're trying to get to cube level security, that's where there are some challenges. But the valid intersection framework can lend itself nicely to that.
Okay.
So that's where a little tease of where it might be. Safe harbor.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mark. It was a pleasure having you.
Oh, my pleasure.